Hello.
Phoebe.
Hi.
Hi, Phoebe. It's Andrew here from Gladiators. Hello. Phoebe, as we are looking for our next generation of gladiators. We're looking for people from loads of different backgrounds in terms of bodybuilding, athletics, speed, strength, agility. I was wondering if there's something that you might be interested in potentially coming and trying out for. There's only 2 days that we're doing the tryouts, and it would be, I can still send you over the application link. You fill out an application form. If we do end up doing further tryouts, unfortunately we can't move the dates.
No, I totally get that as well.
Then we can have a chat again then.
Yeah, 100%. No, thank you for obviously considering me anyway, because obviously that means a lot, so.
Brilliant. Thanks, Phoebe. Thanks very much.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Bye. So I've gotten offered to go on a TV show called Gladiators, but I'm not available for it. So that kind of sucks, but it's okay. I actually have worked a lot in the past with TV shows and stuff. What I say TV shows? The BBC, if anyone's familiar of BBC, in the UK, if you're from US or internationally, you might not have heard of it, but the BBC is a big news and TV station in the UK, and I've worked with them multiple times, so for bodybuilding specifically as well, so that would have been really cool to do it, but I'm not available for the tryouts, so, and I can't make myself available. I mean, I could go back for it potentially. I might message him and say I could go back for it. I don't know, but I'll keep you updated. So here, front pose at the back of the stage. Or if you wanted to, you don't have to step forward, you could do the step back. The same transition as what you were doing before. So when you sway and step back, it just takes a little bit longer, that's the only thing. And we've made massive progress, so it's just a case of now consistently practicing what we've done so far. But really, really good work. You've done really, really well. I'm really proud of how far we've come in terms of what we've done with the time span we've had. So, and we've still got loads of time, which is great. Look at that, yummy. I swear to God, my favourite thing to have are poke bowls or salad bowls. A nice poke bowl or a nice salad bowl takes more effort sometimes, but when you make it, it's just so good. So little updates, obviously. It's just so good. What we're going to do is do a check-in every 10 to 2 weeks. But for the next 5 weeks, we're going to maintain where I am, but we're going to be completely intuitive with it. We're going to really push our training, but the food side of things is going to be intuitive. Now, when I say intuitive, that's not oh, I want a pizza today, so I'm going to have a pizza today and do that every single day. No. It's a case of making sure that I know when my body is hungry, when I need my food, and not just eating for the sake of it, and not always thinking mentally about meal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because the bodybuilding mentality, sometimes it can be very difficult when you don't want to do that all the time. So I don't want to always think about meal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever, every single moment of the day. I want to be able to eat when I'm hungry and be a little bit more have a bit more variety with my food. So that's what we kind of focus on a little bit more. So it allows me to relax mentally. So then when we get to prep, we can push it a little bit harder. Now, this method will not work for everyone. It's a very, very small amount of potential that can actually get away with this type of method. For me, over the years, and I've spoken about these in my videos previously before, where this is the method that works for me. In my off season, I'm not relaxing, but taking time to mentally reset, to get my mind in the right place. Now, don't get me wrong, this makes me sound really lazy because I'm oh, I don't want to meal prep, I don't want to this. That's not the case. Like you just saw there, I've meal prepped and I'm literally meal prepping my meals for the rest of the, bulking my meats, my carbs and stuff like that for the rest of the weekend, because I want to try and make sure that I'm not just falling off the wagon, and because there's no food available, I'm then just eating whatever. I still want to make sure that I'm eating good nutritious foods and I stay in good shape for when I go to the Olympia in November. That's what we're doing. It works for me. And if anyone has any questions about what I do, I'm going to show you guys a little bit more of how I structure this, because again, it's not for everyone. A lot of people like to have a lot more routine in their life and a lot more structure. And don't get me wrong, I still have that structure all the time. Like I still am thinking about like my meals, timings and all that type of thing, but I don't want it to be my entire identity. So I'm gonna show you how to do that, I guess, in the next few coming weeks and kind of show you my intuitive lifestyle. So this is the meal prep that I've kind of done this morning. So we've got, this is literally just frozen veg, but what I've really found is like, I will usually use frozen veg like straight from the packet and I'll put it with my meat and stuff, but then my meat ends up getting like really like, this sounds gross, but like really soggy because of the ice from like the frozen veg. So what I'm gonna start doing now is putting the frozen veg in here, obviously draining it, let it dry, all that sort of thing, and then using it, because it makes it taste nicer as well, and then I can at least put spices with it, flavor it a little bit more versus it literally tasting like water, if that makes sense. So frozen veg, this is beef with kidney beans and some spinach that I've got left over that needed to go. I love, don't get me wrong, I like chicken breast, but I have always been a chicken thighs or leg girl. Like, if I could eat chicken thighs and legs and it keep me as lean as I do for prep, I would do that instead. So 100%. So I've always loved that. So I'm kind of incorporating that back again. So I have 2 legs in there and then I've just got a load of rice to use as and when. So as much as I'm intuitively eating, I'm still prepping some food. And don't get me wrong, this is me being really organized today and making sure I get my shit together. But when it comes to intuitive eating, when I'm in my off season, if there's no food to eat there when I'm hungry in that moment, obviously I can cook stuff and it's fine. But sometimes I'm that hungry where, you know, laziness starts to kick in and you just eat the thing that's closest or the quickest to eat, and sometimes that's not always the best option. So making sure that I prep my meat, veg, carbs, just so it's there, I can put it in a bowl and we can literally just go from there. So it's literally meal prep still, but it's not me eating out of a container all the time, it always being weighed, all that type of thing. So little things like this, I've always liked doing this in my off season. I've liked to incorporate a very normal style of eating and being more intuitive to my body. I always love doing this in my off season and kind of seeing how my body responds to it and all that type of thing. So it's cool that Adam's obviously kind of, you know, carried on with that as well with me and said that carry on what you're doing because I'm happy with what you're doing, if that makes sense. So very happy with it. So I am still hungry a little bit though, so I am gonna have some yogurt.
We'll see how this works, right? And then Phoebe's out. So this one I was a little upset about, honestly. I was a little upset about Phoebe being out because I was looking forward to seeing her on that stage and see how she could pull up in the ranks. I was hoping it would be a good battle between like her and Laura Lee, like I mentioned before, with our preview on this. So this one I was a little disappointed about, personally, because I wanted to see that happen, but I understand it. Again, the taller that you get, the harder it is to stay full and round. You start looking stringy. You start looking soft and stringy, the taller that you get. But also you gotta think about this mentally as well. You know, like, you just came into the Olympia and you kicked ass as far as how your package came together and, you know, how your placement went and all that kind of stuff. The last thing that you want to do is get on stage with a package that is subpar. You know, you don't want to get up there and look less than your best when you just kicked ass on the biggest stage in the entire world, right? So I understand this. I understand this, why she would drop. That last year, her Arnold performance last year was not her best. She was tired, you know, and she knew that going into it. So she did her off season correctly. You know, she came in and she killed it going into the Olympia. So again, the last thing we want to do is have a subpar physique coming onto the second biggest stage in the world.
listening to all the reviews of like the Arnolds and stuff now, because it's like a week and a half out, so it's Thursday the 23rd of February today, and all the kind of like Arnold's predictions are coming out. Like I still am very invested in, because I want to obviously, you know, and I'm still watching the Arnolds. Like I'm getting up at however early it's going to be over here, because it's going to be so, well actually no, it's going to be really, really late over here, but I'm still going to be watching it. I'm going to still be shouting out for my girls and everything. Like I still want to watch it. It's just interesting when I obviously hear, you know, people's predictions, people's opinions, and that was Sean. She does a lot of like bikini reviews. She has her own bikini company, all that type of thing. She's bikini IFBB pro herself, and she's completely right. Exactly what she said was completely exactly how I feel. Last year when I did the Arnolds in 2022, it was not my best. After I'd just done like a season of competing from like June time, it was like June all the way till November. I had like 3 weeks off. Then I got the invite for the Arnolds, and then we started prepping, and my body was just like, no. And the exact same happened this year as well. And she's completely right. Like I did not want to take up a shape that I wasn't proud of, especially with other stresses going on as well. Like again, everything else takes into account when you're on prep. If you've got a lot of stress going on, if you've got other external things that you're thinking about, other things that take priority, it's going to be very, very difficult to bring something that, like, well, something that's the exact same or better than what you brought before, if there's a lot more battles to this one, if that makes sense. So I just think it was just wrong timing. It was just not my time, and it's nice to hear that she was like, I was really looking forward to kind of like see her battle it out. And I'm just literally about to watch another one, the bikini predictions, which they did this prediction before I'd announced it, so it was like, this is a kind of a true prediction of where they thought I was placed. It's with Backstage Bikini, I think it's Backstage Bikini with Grace and Jade with Paul Ravella, so I'm gonna watch that in a second, because loads of people have said it to me already. I wanna make sure that I'm bringing only my best when I step on those types of stages, so, or just any stage in general, not even just the big stages, but any stage in general, I wanna be my absolute best. So, we're having a nice, good break. Did check in today. I am happy with my check-in. I actually really love my shape. I love how I look. I love how I feel. My only issue is obviously when in between this phase, sometimes, I don't even know how to explain it, but I really like how I look in terms of like fullness. I look sexy, I look curvy, I look, you know, I like how I look, but then I know that's not as optimal as what it needs to be for stage, if that makes sense. So sometimes it's hard to then hold back and not train as hard, or have to diet, like be a slightly smaller person in an off season, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes any sense, but sometimes that's something I struggle with, because I like the way I look like this, but I know it's not optimal for bodybuilding perspective sometimes. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but yeah, that's sometimes kind of how I feel. So it's a little bit of a battle in my head sometimes, of like trying to find that nice happy medium. We're getting through it, we're doing well, and I'm gonna kind of show you guys what Adam kind of says about it, because I haven't checked in with Adam for about 2.5 weeks now, because I just said like I need a little bit of a break, I need just a little bit of a breather, and that's what I do like to do. I do like to have just a little bit of mental rest. The main, like I said, the main feedback for the Olympia for this year was just to literally same conditioning as before, just a little bit fuller, because I keep looking back at loads of videos, photos of everything from the Olympia, and I can see what they mean now. Like I'm very, very sunken in, very petite, and I think my conditioning was great, but I just needed more density. I actually do think I needed more muscle, so that's why I'm really enjoying my workouts at the moment, because I'm pushing for that muscle, you know? So yeah, I'm excited for it. It's gonna be a lot of fun this next season ahead.
To me, it's Maureen's show, and then the question mark is Laura. Phoebe and I struck up a friendship a couple years ago. I don't recall how, but she's just one of those people, like, she's lovely to be around, she's great to talk to, she's very, you know, just a great personality. She's, you know, sometimes you travel around to all these shows and you just start to click with people. I've always clicked with Phoebe, really always admired her physique. At Arnold last year, she was like, yeah, we really fought to get down to even close, but that wasn't her best look, right? She knew it. I think what it did was, it set her up to come out of that show with a very clear purpose to be successful, right? To come into Texas. You know, seeing her stand side by side with Daraja in Texas, it was between them pretty clearly. Phoebe's a taller athlete, and I think Daraja's just a little more bubbly at this point. So I think, you know, Phoebe just continues to evolve. She's going to be a staple in that first call out to the Olympia. Like, she just, I feel like she's, you know, her and Adam have figured out her body, how to get her conditioning and fullness right on stage. So yeah, she's just, you know, and she's another one of those girls, when it comes down to the top girls in the world, structure stands out. I mean, look at her structure. I mean, in this front pose, you know, from the waist up, she might have the best structure, right? She doesn't have the fullness to the glute yet and the legs, but I mean, put a little bit of Laura Lee on her and you can see her winning some big shows, right? And that's just what this sport is, and she has the right attitude. She's in it for the long haul. She's not a make it or break it from show to show. She's a lifetime competitor. You can tell she loves the process.
That's so cute. That's so cute. Paul is literally one of the best people to like be around as well. Like he's just so kind. He's been in this industry for so long. Like I really respect him so much. I feel like I sometimes just sit here in my blanket and I'm just like doing my work literally like this because I get so cold from the aircon sometimes because I leave it on and I'm like cold. But anyway, I think I'm gonna leave the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. This video is a bit of a random one, and let me know in the comment section below if you enjoyed kind of these styles of vlogs, because I'm just showing you kind of like what I'm getting up to and stuff, and comment down below if there's anything particularly you do want to see from me. I've just been enjoying life. Like it's really nice, and I was saying this the other day to someone that it's just nice to kind of live both lifestyles, and I've always really been really, you know, open and honest about this lifestyle. I know obviously it's very difficult to kind of sometimes maintain and stuff, so I like to live the best of both worlds, and I know sometimes I get in my own head and think, is that the right thing for me to do? Is that optimal for where I need to be to where I want to get to, and everything like that? So it's hard sometimes, it really is. It's like a big battle in my head, but at the same time, like regardless of what anyone says, I think you should always try and remember that, and just try and remember, like, do what you want. Just literally do what you want. If your goals are to do XYZ, put plans in place to do exactly that. If you feel like you need to, you know, back off a little bit because you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, back off a little bit because you feel overwhelmed. Like, I think sometimes I've always said this, we always try and create too much pressure around ourselves to do what everyone thinks we should do, and not what's best for us or what we want sometimes. So it's really nice to be able to kind of like feel like I'm in control, like fully in control. As for check-in and how I'm feeling body-wise and all that type of thing, those updates, very happy with it. I did actually post on my Instagram how I'm looking. I kind of just posted how I'm feeling, and I was like, I feel really strong. And someone did ask me how heavy I am over my stage weight, and I again want to be completely open and honest with you guys. I'm around 12 kilos up at the moment, which is around just over 20 pounds probably. This is where I like to sit. I love sitting in this shape because, you know, I still have a tight waist, my glutes are nice and full, my glutes are nice and big, I feel very strong in my upper body. Sometimes I do feel a little bit conscious over my like upper body getting a bit too big, but I still do enjoy holding a lot more muscle and a lot more fullness in my upper body. Again, I feel very confident in where I'm at the moment. Like, I don't feel like I'm hiding away in my gym clothes or when I'm going to the beach or anything like that. Like yesterday, I went to the beach, I think a few days ago, and I wore the tiniest bikini ever and full on off-season mode, or full on at my highest weight, and I don't care. I really don't. And that's something I'm always very like completely confident and happy about, because I'm happy with my shape in both phases. I know it's so hard to enjoy both phases because, you know, a lot of people feel more uncomfortable with more body weight on them, but I friggin' love this phase. Like, I honestly love it. I just feel good. I love this phase, and I love both because they serve a purpose. Right now, I'm in my health phase where I am, you know, getting my body where it needs to be before I go on stage, making sure that everything's in check and making sure that I'm also living life. And then when I get into prep, it also, serves a very big purpose as well, but it's not something I will maintain. It's very important to understand that you need to enjoy both phases. And I posted on my Instagram the other day about enjoying the body you're in right now. So obviously, you know, at some point, even if you're not competing, there will be a time where you either want to gain muscle, you either want to lose weight and look a little bit tighter or whatever, or obviously you're getting ready for a competition to either gain muscle or obviously lose weight and get lean for a show. Enjoy the body you're in currently right now to get to those results, because I feel like it's very easy to disregard the body that we're in and say, I'm not happy with how I look, I'm not happy with how I'm feeling, this or the other, until I get to my end goal. And we disregard how we feel, how we look in that moment. And I think it's very important to make sure that we appreciate it. Do you know what I mean? So appreciate the body you're in now, enjoy the body you are in now, appreciate it as much as you can, because I feel like we wish away how we look in the moment, and then when we get to the actual like goal phase and all that type of thing, are we really truly happy with, you know, the end result, or are we just thinking like, you know, that is the only thing that's going to make me happy? And it just goes in a big circle. So enjoy the body you're in now. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, because it really helps support my channel. If you are a pro, amateur, any level of competitor that wants to learn posing from me or one of my lovely posing portal coaches, please head to the link in the description box below and head to theposingportal.com. Very exciting things coming. I keep saying that, but there honestly is, and I'm really, really excited. If you are from the UK as well and you haven't got your tickets to the all-in seminar, what are you doing? Hurry up, let's go. I'm really, really excited for this seminar. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we have limited tickets, so make sure you purchase one. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon.